Hey guys, welcome back to Flying in Space with Planet Head. Uh, it's episode 2 of kind of, I don't want to say reboot, but reshuffling back in here. Um, also, the second time I've done this video because the last time I did it, was about halfway through and I accidentally closed the window. So I'm gonna repeat everything I just said about 30 minutes ago. Um, so it is my day off. I've gotten a little bit of sleep in me. I feel pretty up to play. And my main thing coming back to making these videos is to just have fun playing Eve and promote having fun playing Eve. That's what this channel's all been about. And if I see something that I think might be fun to do a video about, or do a series of videos about, I will try to do those. And the goal is to do one a week, if possible. Usually they'll come out Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday. Right now, those are my days that I don't work. And then if I have any ideas in between, maybe I'll throw an extra one out there. If I don't have anything worthwhile, I won't do a video. Um, but hopefully this will be helpful for you. So let's just jump right in. Um, as you know, I have this new character that I started a couple weeks ago that I've been messing around with, and I saw something that might be helpful to. Um, this is kind of a two-parter of a video. The first part is something that might be helpful to either returning players, people who are kind of rebooting their gameplay like I am doing, or even new players, and especially those guys who don't have a whole lot of time each day to play, or those guys who boot up the game and they're not sure. They know they want to play, but there's so many options out there. Um, what do you do each day, and how does your gameplay actually maybe jog those brain cells to get you to go even do even more stuff? So that said, I set up, and then the second part of this video is going to be my current plan of action. What I'm going to be doing over the next couple of weeks when I really just want to try something new and do different things. But by doing so, it will set me up in a positive manner, give me that foundation so that down the road, um, I can uh, even have even more fun in doing all sorts of different things. And that will be the second part here. As you notice, I have a venture up here, a venture simulated venture here, and that will be what I'll be talking about in the second part of the video. First part of the video, if you look over here on the left-hand side, everybody should have this on your um, uh, game itself, the Neocom bar that you can set up. What I did earlier this week was I reorganized the bar for my gameplay. And I know I've expanded it some right now so you can see it. But I really focus on the first couple of things that I want to do each day before I really get started playing, especially if I'm not sure exactly what I want to do that day. And this is uh, partly whenever I boot it up, it will give me those ideas of what I want to do to have fun. Plus, it will help me with my housekeeping each day as to while I'm doing those things, how I'm maximizing my gameplay experience. And I'm not spending a day hauling junk from one area to another because I forgot to do something, or letting things slide, like blueprint research or planetary interaction or stuff like that. That I want to do quickly, get done with, but not forget about, let it slip for a couple of days and miss out on those opportunities for that. So that said, you guys can set up yours however you want to do. Mine's going to change over time as my priorities change, but right now, with this new character, um, oh, she's back again. So come on up, Maya. You want to say hi? Hello. Hello. By the way, this is the third time she's actually interrupted the video, but the first video she interrupted twice, but that video didn't work. But she's saying hi. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah. All right. You good? All right. Off you go. Off. She just looked at me like, just call me up here. All right. So she just gave me that look like, what? Are you talking about me? All right. So what I've done, and this will definitely change in the next little while, um, but each day I want to boot up, and I've got my character, obviously, I have my nice little picture here. But then the first thing I want to do is I always want to check my skills. Just real quick, real quick. I'll boot that up and I'll be like, what are your skills like? Now I've already looked at these, but so I'm not going to waste that time for you guys. But I just want to make sure that things are running and I've got everything organized that I want to do. And maybe earlier in the day, I was thinking, ooh, I really need to get those other skills up in the list. This will remind me to do that because you don't want to waste that time. If there's one thing you don't want to waste is your skill tree time. Second thing, and this is the one that will go away, but I put the air career program for the next one that I want to do. Why did I do this? Because that's my current fun goal. That's my current, hey, this is what you're doing all the time. Right now, my goal, I'll just boot it up here. No, I'm not throwing the rope for you right now. You guys have all seen this, unless you're brand new to the game. This is your air career program, and it's to help those guys who've never played it before. Um, to get some blueprints and try some things out and stuff like that. Now, as you can tell here, I've got each one of the Enforcer, Explorer, and Industrial not maxed out in points, but maxed out in the goal of points here. And I've almost hit my final goal here of uh, to get the total 125,000 free skill points. So I'm almost there. I've still got some Soldier of Fortune. But in each one of these, I'll just show you the Enforcer one here. They're not 100% complete. Um, in the Explorer one, I still have I'm sorry, the Enforcer one, I still have the bounties to do, and the Abyssal Space one to finish off. My kind of goal right now is to 100% all of these at some point in time in the near future. The toughest one to do that with is your Soldier of Fortune. You really it's tough to do because you have to go out and you have to do a little bit of PvP, and you have to do some weird other things in there, like while you're doing that PvP. But it is a good way to dip your toe in that sort of thing, see if it's something you like. Um, but this is my current fun goal. This is my hey, I know exactly what I'm going to do. That said, once I complete this, that will go off the bar because I've 100%ed it. After that, the other ones here will move up. Now, the first one, I'm going to run through these real quick. I put my opportunities area here. Why opportunities? Because number one, it gives me my daily opportunities here. I have to do 2 of these to get my 10,000 skill points. But I could do really simply manufacture an item and destroy 5 things or go blow something up. Maybe I just boot it into the game. I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. I look at this for my daily goals. Obviously, it's super simple to manufacture an item. Just plop that in there. Um, but then maybe I go, do I want to go blow something up? Do I want to go blow somebody up? Or do I want to go and scan something? Really simple questions to ask myself, and maybe that gets me down the road as to what I'm going to do for fun that day. So I'm not using this just to get the skill points. This is little reminders to me, or little inspirations as to what can I go do to have fun for the day, even if I've only got like 30 minutes of game time play, because I need to take the dog for a walk. At least this will get me out there going. Here's a second bonus to this, and it's very simple. When you pull this up, you can, when you're looking at your options to do, and it says manufacture an item. We've all done this if you've ever played E for more than a month. You buy a blueprint or you set up manufacturing that you're going to build something, or and this especially happens for alphas because they don't have the tons of slots of manufacturing going on. You forget that it's there for a day or two, so you're missing out on that time because it's been sitting there and you didn't address it. This is not only just little inspirations, it's also little reminders as, hey, did you check your manufacturing today? Did you check, your planetary interaction, that sort of thing. Kind of gets your brain going on those lines. So maybe you get those things done real quick. And or here's the last part of it. Maybe you look at it and go, you know what? I am really tired of manufacturing. I'm not going to worry about it anymore. You do that. Um, so there that is. Uh, last two, but not least, we got the agency here. Maybe at this point, I still don't know what I want to do for the day. Pull this up. It's got all my different stuff that I can work on, have fun with, agent missions, encounters, exploration. Maybe I look here and I go, oh, wait, you know what? I really meant to look into those epic arcs. Which ones haven't I done? Well, I'm Caldari right now. How do I get these? Maybe this gets your brain moving as to what you want to do. Am I allowed to do the one? No. Okay. And so I've already done the Bloodstained Stars, so that's all done. But this might give me an idea of what I want to do. Or some of the other things that are there, mission agents, Paragon agents, that sort of thing. Last but not least, um, and I just started putting these in order of things I can do while I'm idle or idling. And when I say idling, not just sitting in station like I am right now, but when I'm mining, when I'm traveling to another area, that sort of thing, are there things that I can catch up on or do that maximizes my time in game? A great example would be just checking your email. So let's say I've got to fly 15 jumps to get to meet up with a fleet. While I'm doing that, I'm going to check my email. Um, Other things like maybe I'm jumping out to do a mining mission or do a mining fleet. I can do some project discovery on the side, get a few extra skill points, a few extra skins, a few extra things there. All that's right there. Am I ever gonna, let's be honest, am I ever gonna boot up Eve to do project discovery just for the fun of it? Heck no. But it's a nice little reminder that it's there as a bonus to get a few little extra things. So that's where I'm at with that. Now, what am I going to be doing? So that's part one, the video. Part two, well, part 2.5 after I take this drink of coffee. Part 2.5 goes along with why I had that venture um, simulated fit up. And I'm going to try to hit this real quick. I'll probably talk a lot more about it if I keep doing, if this becomes a series of videos. Um, I will expand upon why I'm doing this, but I think it's going to be really helpful for me. It's laying that foundation for fun in the future and eliminate a lot of if you start off well organized or start off organizing yourself at the beginning of the game, you won't have one of those days where you're like, I've got 20 billion isk worth of stuff in 15 different stations. Or, hey, why is all this stuff here in this station? Every time that I go to an area now, I'm going to be going there for a purpose. And to do that, I need to set up a base camp, as you will. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be creating a hiking backpack to go to areas and set myself up. So let's pull up Dotland here. Oh, that's part two. Okay, so here's Dotland. Let's go to the universe. I'm going to talk about this real quick. So one issue that I've always run into is you start going to these different areas, they start leaving things behind. Um, what I want to start doing is setting up little areas like you've got Jita here in the forge, if I'm not mistaken. Um, I want to start going to different areas that I've liked in the past and setting myself up so that um, I always have something to do if I'm in that area, especially to do like the daily opportunities or things like that to get those done. How do I do that? Well, my first thought was I could always just fly an exploration ship out to one of these areas and then build from there. But that doesn't work the best because, in my mind, it limits me as to what I can do. I can explore. And what is an exploration ship? It's made to fly around and go to different areas. What I want to do is set up a very simple spot. Now, I don't mine hardly at all anymore, other than if I'm doing missions or if I need a quick little influx of stuff to build with. But uh, the simplest one for me is to fit out a venture and find a spot in each one of these outlying areas here of high sec, low sec, or NPC null sec, so that I always have an accessible spot that I can go to that I can quickly drop off ill-gotten booty or anything like that. So, two things. What do you do? What ship do you take with you? Actually, three things. What what do you what ship do you take with you? Venture. What things do you take with you? And then where are you going? Now, I'm going to talk really quickly about the venture. We're going to look at a couple fits that I was looking at really quickly use that you can grab yourself. I'm not going to talk so much about what I'm going to take with me because I'm still running those through my brain, but I have some good ideas. That'll be a later video if I keep doing this series. And lastly, I'm going to take a really quick note as to possible areas that I might fly to drop this stuff off at and start working out of those areas. So why am I picking the venture? Let's pull this back up. There we go. If you can't see the screen, if you're just listening in, not a big deal. I'll talk about it anyway. And if you played the game before, you know what I'm doing. So I've gone into the fitting area. I've pulled up the pre-made fits that are out there that you can look at. And the Venture actually has 4 of them. And a lot of these look very similar. And I'm going to be using one of these for a specific reason. um, and then I'll talk really quickly as to why I'm using that. And then I'll tell you uh, what how I've come up with the systems that I'm going to be going to. Where we at? Oh, we're in good shape. We're at 16 minutes. This isn't too long. So, first off, we got the Venture up here. We've got 4 different fits. I'm going to pick on the first one, the Alpha Minor fit. And the simplest part with this, it's a very simple fit. You've got your 2 mining lasers here. You've got your afterburner here so you can get closer to the rocks. You got a little bit of protection here with the medium shield extender. And you've got your survey scanner so you can figure out how much is left inside of those rocks that you can still mine out. And last but not least, you've got a nanofiber internal structure to make yourself turn and move and do things a little bit faster, just agility wise. Really simple ship. If you notice down here, there are no drones in the ship. This is they're the most basic of basic um, mining vessels that I wouldn't even take really out of point 0.9 space because you have no real protection there. Um, but but it is useful for you guys who are just booting up the game. So it's a good start. Now, the second one here is the Industrialist Miner. Now, this one definitely has a lot more protection. It definitely has some options and could be very viable for me to take out with me. I'm not going to be using this one, but we'll talk really quickly about what it does have. So number one, it's got your 2 mining lasers, obviously. This is the big one right here. It's through on the salvager. Always good to throw a salvager, in my mind, onto a venture because you can always pick up those little salvage pieces of those little pirates that tried to shoot you. And how do you get those salvage pieces? By having the drones inside of the ship. So this one's got 2 drones. Doesn't really matter what they are. I usually like to throw hobgoblins in just because I like the name hobgoblin. Um, but I throw these in here just for that little bit of protection against those lower level rats in the some areas that you might be able to kill. Last but not least, it's got your afterburner again, so you can get from one space to another. It's got a little bit of protection with your shield extender. And then it's got the survey scanner again. And this is one of the things I'm going to remove off of here because I really don't feel I need it. But if you want to use it, you can. Last but not least, they've replaced out the nanofiber structure with a mining laser upgrade, which is what I'll probably be using, only because it allows you to mine a little bit faster and you get more stuff out of it. Now, the other thing too is they've thrown on some rigs. Now it's got a shield reinforcer, EM, thermal, and EM. So this is basically being used to cover the deficiencies in the Venture's shields are weaker against thermal and EM. So this is there just for a little bit of protection. Now, this would be a perfectly fine fit for me to use, to take and use for what I'm wanting to do. Um, it only has 50 meters cubed to carry stuff with, but really all I'm going to be bringing with me in the future is a couple of BPCs to get myself started with other things out in the area. BPCs of exploration ships, of some either destroyer or a frigate, and then also most likely ammo, that sort of thing. But all I'm going to be doing is carrying some BPCs with me because they're low cost. I can build those out, make those, and be ready to roll. The other major thing that comes along here, and let's see if I can remember where I find it. Let's just look at, might be on the fit, but I'm just going to pull it up here in the description. And so if you notice here, it's got the +2 bonus to ship warp core strength. So as an alpha, you can't use a cloak, and you're wanting to get away quickly. It's a nice little quick little ship. It's maybe the most versatile ship I think in Eve. Um, you don't want to keep using it for a long period of time, but especially for new players, you can get through all your career missions with a venture. Yeah, I've done it before. But this ship warp core strength allows you to not be tackled instantaneously. And if you've got these defensive things, if you're trying to go even farther out, outside of high sec, if you're trying to go into low sec or especially low sec, but even NPC null sec, as long as you can avoid warp bubbles, there's a good chance you might be able to sneak or get through quickly um, when you're doing these little backpack hiking missions that I'm going to be doing. So good ship, almost what I want. The last two fits here are very similar. The one here is a tech mining ship. Um, Same stuff. You've got your rigs for shield defense. Now this one has different ones. It's got extenders and it's got it's actually got all extenders. So it's increased the size of defense. Now what's the difference between this and the previous venture? With the filling, if you notice here now, since I've changed out the rigs, I now have on my shields no defense on the EM and none on the thermal. But I have increased my shield size, my shield hit points. Why is this important? When you are trying to get farther out to low sec and null sec, people are going to start targeting you and try to shoot you. At the gates. You want to get off and on as quickly as possible. Really quick note, and I'm not going to cover it all. I'm sure you guys have some other ideas on this, but when you put shield extenders on here, if I'm not mistaken, you do get a negative, and your negative um, is it increases your your signature radius. So throwing these three on here is going to increase your shield, um, your ship signature radius. What does that do? It allows people to target you faster, so they can get those warp stabs onto you quicker to maybe be able to blow you up. I like to go the other route. I like to go just for the travel aspect of it, of filling in those gaps, so that maybe because as soon as somebody's able to tackle you with getting above that +2 warp core stabilization, you're done. You're done. There's no getting away from it. So I'd much rather them either be able to get me or not harder than to be able to take more damage, which is what this is. Now, this is a good fit if you are actually out just mining and maybe you've allowed yourself to be distracted. This will give you more hit points to take some damage before one of the rats that rolls in to try to shoot you. So not a bad fit, but not what I want. So the first one, so what I'm going to be doing is doing kind of a mix of the two. And then you've got the last one here, Zeronins or Starter. Almost the same stuff. Um, he's got the shield extender, so he's increased his radius. But if you notice over here, he's gone with the full defense. He's also extended his shield here, and he's filled in the gaps of the warp defense here. Notice there is uh, uh, no afterburner or warp drive on here. So take with this fit, you would be really reliant on your save points out near belt. So if you were going to go out to an area and stay in that one area and set up save points, this would be a good fit. Again, I'd probably not go with the extenders for travel wise, but out there it might be better for it. Also, no salvager on here if you notice that. So definitely want to have that salvager. So that I'm going to be making a really quick fit, not in this video, but because that's boring for you guys. And I will be doing kind of a mixture of all three of these ideas in one. Um, and maybe down the road I'll show you a quick update on the fit that I came up with for that. You guys can give me some ideas of your own, that sort of thing. Last but not least, where am I going to go? I'm almost out of coffee. That means this video is almost done. Um, let's see here. Oh my gosh. So I didn't realize. um, so yeah, I've said it before. I work for Amazon. It's my comfiest sweatshirt right now. Well, it's not my comfiest, but it's close to it's comfiest clean sweatshirt. All right. Focus on the Philadelphia Eagles. Don't focus on that. This is where I work. This is I have fun. Okay. Last but not least, where am I going to go? I'm going to talk about this real brief, because I want to tell you. Um, it's just that idea that came to my head, and I think it's going to be really good. So I know I want to set up some little lean-to, some little spots out here in these systems that are here. What are the best systems? Well, the simplest thing to do is go into your Eve University wiki and type in trade hubs. And they will give you a list here of all of the major trade hubs at the top. You've got your Jita, you've got your Amar, you've got your Rens, you've got your Dixie. Even it's got a list of heck here, and it gives you a description of what all these things are. Really good for you new players that are out there. It's got a list here of secondary trade hubs. So these are areas that you can get some stuff that you need. Um, Maybe the prices might not be the best, or they may not have the best selection. So you want to think of this as the supermarket in the small town. Um, Maybe it has what you need, but not everything of what you want. But you can definitely get some stuff done. And then down here, it's got even smaller trade hubs, whether they be in farther reaching areas or in low sec, NPC nullsec, that sort of thing. Um, this is a really good spot here to kind of get an idea of what do you want to be near and what stations to go to. Now, my first one to start off with is going to be an area that I've always gone to. I always like it. And that's going to be, I'm going to be going out to the Stackman and Slays area and just dropping off a backpack, having that to do. Now, why am I doing that? And again, I'm going to talk about this really briefly. If you look at, I'm going to talk about two separate areas. Jita's really good if you need to sell stuff and buy stuff and get what you need. That's where I'm at right now. But it annoys me because there's so many people around selling things, and I'm more of a person who likes to, in the real world, go for a quiet walk versus uh, in. And I don't mind being in cities. I like people watching, but I like to be. I don't like the hustle bus. I don't like being in crowds, and that's what I feel like in Jita. Um, and let's just talk for an example. We're going to talk about Placid. Um, so I'm going to be going to Placid. I'm going to be dropping off my backpack in Placid in the system of Stackman here. Stackman or Slays, one of the two. I'm not sure which, because it gives me options to do whatever I want to do. I could go do some PvP up here in Faction Warfare space. I can go over here and do some scanning. I can go just around the corner into Syndicate and go do some NPC nullsec hanging out. Um, a lot of different options that are here. Plus, Stackman has what I need. May not have everything of what I want, but it has what I need. So I can drop off my backpack here and just get started working there. And I will pick one station there so that I put all my stuff there. So whenever I go out and do stuff, I'll always drop it back off there. So let's say I I stay in Stackman for a month, or I'm working out there for a little while. Got a dog with her head on my lap. Um, so then I move on and I go to Iridia, or I go to Molden Heath, or I go to another, do the same thing. 6 months later, I'm sitting there going, what do I want to do today? You know what? I'm gonna fly back out to Stackman and see what I got there. I know what I have there because I've set up my foundation there. I know what station I'm gonna be in, and I know what I need to do. Another thing would be, let's say I'm out exploring wormholes and I pop out. I've got these little stations all over the place that if I need something right away, I can drop it off. So if you can't tell, I'm playing with the dog outside of the screen. So I've talked about this a lot. If you want a lot of attention, get yourself a husky because these puppies, they need attention all the time. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. So that's what I'm going to do. If this becomes a series, I might do it once a week or once every when I feel like it. I will give you guys updates where I'm at. But I'm going to fit out my venture. I'm going to throw a couple of blue BPCs into it. I'm going to head out to Stackman and hang out for the day. I will say this: I'm not going to play a whole lot today because today is supposed to be warmer than it's been in quite a while. It's supposed to get up in the 60s. It's been in the 20s, 30s, and 40s for the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to take this little girl for a good walk later on. And I might even go hit some golf balls at some point because it's my day off. I had a very long week. Uh, I learned a lot this week at my job. Got a lot done, and I have a lot more I want to do. So I'm going to relax today, drink some coffee, eat some good food. What did I get to eat, puppy? I know it. Where did I go to the store yesterday? I'm gonna. No, you know what? I could get some ribs, and then those would be left over for you. Yeah. Uh-huh. All right. Well, hey guys, I'm gonna go play with my dog for a little while. So, other than that, fly safe, fly dangerously, fly however that you want. Have a good one. Bye bye.